My name's Clare Stewart. I'm the director of the BFI London Film Festival and the head of festivals for the British Film Institute. So we also produce LGBT Film Festival in March as well as the London Film Festival in October. So I have just been here at the MAMI Mumbai International Film Festival participating on the participating on the India Gold jury and looking at all of the new independent Indian films that have been selected as part of the competition section. It's been a really interesting experience. We've had a really great jury, so the jury experience has been terrific, really fantastic. People from very different backgrounds and very different cultural regions. Kati from Finland and Anthony from Singapore, London, as well as Sabiha from Pakistan, and also, of course, the wonderful Atul from Mumbai. And this has been really great because we bring many different perspectives to the way that we view the films and the decisions that we make. Because I am a programmer myself, one of the things that I am always looking for over 20 years of programming, previously as director of the Sydney Film Festival, now at London, and in many roles in Australia before that. One of the things that I always look for in a film is, has the director set an intention for the story and the filmmaking, and have they delivered on that intention? Have they chosen the kind of right cinematic form to tell the story? I always am interested in filmmakers who take risks. Sometimes that means they might not pull them all off, but sometimes really great cinematic moments come from being unafraid to take risks. And one of the things as well that we always think about when we're programming the London Film Festival, which of course has a very strong history of showing independent Indian cinema, is also diversity, and we're looking for diverse cultural backgrounds, diverse stories, good representation of gender, etc. And one of the things that's been very striking about the selection in the India Gold program is the fact that there have been stories from many different regions in India, and I think for most of the jury this has been very enlightening. There's been all sorts of new cultural learnings for me, and that's that then in turn informs the way I go back to London and think about programming Indian cinema. So yeah.
Now talking about Indian independent cinema,
Yeah.
So how do you think has it evolved over the years, and what is your view on that? Because we have now films like coming, there was Aligarh also, which was also premiered at the BFI Festival,
Yeah.
and there are quite other films that have been winning, the Indian films that have been winning awards at international festivals all across, and there is a perception that Indian cinema is now, there's a new language, there's a new voice that it is gaining. So how do you think, in your experience as a festival programmer over the years, what are your views on the Indian independent cinema, and how has it evolved over the years?
I mean, I think one of the things that is really significant, obviously, about independent cinema in India is that you are working in parallel to a very big industry in terms of the Bollywood film industry, which is very, very focused on entertainment and storytelling. And that's always been, I guess, at the heart of the more sort of commercial forms of filmmaking here. But I think what's really happened, I think there was a period when independent cinema was much harder to make in India, and it feels like that is opening up. And also I have to say that Bollywood itself is taking more of an interest, I hope, in independent cinema, and in helping many of the first assistant directors or whatever who are working in Bollywood to also make their own films independently with a more independent vision or auteur vision. And I think that's what we're seeing, the benefits of a place where actually there's great infrastructure, great skills for making films, and now we are seeing more diverse stories being told. But of course, there have been historical waves of this in Indian cinema, but I do think we are in a moment where we're seeing more of that come out to the international sort of film community.
And you've also been a part of the Sydney Film Festival, so if you could just talk about those experiences as well.
Yeah, sure. So I guess my experience having been into really sort of critical areas for Indian filmmakers abroad. So obviously London in the context of the UK has a very significant Indian population. And Australia too, more and more, has a very significant kind of and growing Indian community. So one of the things that is very difficult, I think, for independent Indian cinema is to find a marketplace outside of the festivals, outside of international film festivals that are set up to show new and I guess more potentially more challenging work. So Bollywood films are supported commercially in these other countries. There would be regular screenings once a week or something at commercial cinemas, but it's much harder for an Indian independent film to get distribution in the UK. In fact, I think The Lunchbox is the last film that I can think of that would have had a distribution deal in the UK.
A very remarkable distribution.
Right. So I think that the film festivals play a very important role in terms of giving these films a sort of platform. So for example, Alagar, the film that has opened the MAMI Mumbai International Film Festival, we had the European premiere of that film in the London Film Festival, and that's a very important moment to kind of help take that film out to audiences, and we hope as well will generate interest for that film to have a continued life for UK audiences.